Yo, what's happening, people? It's your boy Michael Griggs, and welcome back to Griggs Talks, where we talk all things sports. And welcome back to another match reaction. Um, yeah, what a game. Brentford won, Manchester United won. Um, that was, you know what? Fair enough to the Barclays. I tweeted earlier this morning what a Barclays script that is up in store for us today. You know, all those thriller games from the morning to the afternoon and now evening. And yeah, United got bopped for a second as I was creating my thumbnail for the video. United stole it, threw a Mason Mount winner, and then by the time I updated my thumbnail, it was 1-1 Brentford. So that's how that ending of that game went. But yeah, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Big up Saeed for the raid. And yeah, let's just go through the game. Big up FK in the building. Hello, Giggsy. Wow, you know, that's something. First of all, United, that was by far the worst performance of the season, and that is saying something because I've seen United be shit for a lot of the season. Don't get it twisted. We've been terrible for most of the season. Like, I can't even name you 5 good games. But what I witnessed today should be considered illegal when it comes to football. It was absolutely, like, nothing worse than what I could have seen today. I think Brentford hit the post more times than we actually had a shot on goal. That's how bad it got, right? So, yeah, but before I really get into it, let me go through the comments real quick. Jefferson is better than Ndai. We need to back Ten Hag. No, we do not. We don't need to back anything. We don't need to back anyone, man. You don't have to back anyone. Who you do not want to back that's up to you, man. Jacob said worst performance ever. Should have lost 5-0. You know what? 5-0 is being nice. I think Brentford hit the post more than 5 times. Miles Johnson, I see you in the highest comments a lot. Big up Griggs. That performance is up there with the 7-0, 6-3, 4, yada yada yada. Yeah, we've gotten whooped 20 times, man. Your friend Garnacho high, man. He was terrible today. We're absolutely shocking. Why you were pumped the whole match? Sean, big up coming from Saeed. JJ Lloyd laugh. Certain emojis. Big up. A lot of comments. Oh, I've never had to scroll this quick before. United is the most jammy team I have ever seen. Bro, I told people this. Remember when I said United are not the Kings. I think Liverpool are the Kings, but United are one of the best at getting result when they don't deserve it. Today might have been the epitome of that, but it could have even been better because we actually almost won the game. That's how crazy it was, right? I thought Brentford right hand side was Saka over the white based on the way when they getting monetized. I assume, man. Hopefully, I'm sick and tired of Dalo. What your players and managers like to make big. You know what? To be fair, Onana made so we had something for Brentford. I don't know why my goalkeeper is giving out interviews. That should never happen because as a goalkeeper, let's be real. Like obviously, you can have something for the opponent in terms of keeping them out the goal, but you have no say in what happens in the midfield. You have no say what really happens in the attack, and you really have a say what happens in the defense, right? You're not the one that's clearing the ball. You're not the one that's in the attack. You're not the one that's linking play. So Onana was saying stuff for no reason, and Ten Hag obviously said stuff before the games without even having to say it for no reason, but. Yeah, never let out of your mind. But yeah, let's actually really get into it. In terms of the lineup, it was pretty much the expected lineup, right? Obviously, Mainu was a game time decision. Obviously, he played. McTominay in the midfield. I was actually, knowing Casemiro was fit, I actually kind of expected to see Casemiro back there. But I think he wanted to, I guess, reward McTominay for his goal against Liverpool. Defense was pretty much the same. I didn't expect Leacher to play today. So Lindelof, Varane, Dalo right back, Wan-Bissaka left back, Onana in goal, and then our typical front three. That was, bro. Obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to the people. There's 152 of you in here, so I'm not gonna lie. Before this game, after the Liverpool win, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is the moment that changed our season. You know what? But it's my fault. It's my fault for actually believing in United for about the 55th time this season that we could actually change something. That's my fault. We didn't change anything because honestly, it might have even gotten worse since then. That's the crazy thing. It's gotten worse since then. The fact that we were so bad today, we couldn't get out of our own half. Our guys went to international break and they forgot how to play football. Dalo went to Portugal, which is meant to be one of the top nations of football, and he forgot how to make a pass. Bruno went to Portugal. He somehow even looked worse. Mainu's the only one that looked decent, I guess, in the midfield. But even then, today, he didn't really have, like, the best performances, what I've seen from Mainu. But I'm not going to get onto him because look at his midfield partners, right? You have McTominay, you have Bruno. There's not much you can do. Rashford was abysmal today. I'm going to be real. He was terrible for the whole 90 minutes. I have no idea what he was doing. I typically like Rashford. That's my boy. and everything, but he was absolutely abysmal today. Defensively, he was abysmal. On the ball, kept running into traffic. There was no reason. Garnacho, every single time I looked up from my monitor, I saw Garnacho on the right wing. 5 seconds later, I see him on the left wing. And then 5 seconds later, I see him back on the right wing. My brother in Christ, pick a freaking flank to be on. Why is it one time on the right and the next time on the left? Is that a managerial instruction, or he was just vibing out there and he was just running wherever he wanted to run? Because he was absolutely abysmal today. He was abysmal today. It was absolutely terrible. From Nacho, I think Hojlund was terrible today as well. His link play was terrible. Some of his runs that he was making were not the typical runs I expect from Hojlund, especially from a striker. Like, I think it was a Rashford in the transition, and Hojlund went wide instead of running centrally, and he kind of closed the angle for Rashford to make the pass. I need better from my striker there, I'm not going to lie. So, from that perspective, it was bad. So, yeah, bro, honestly, I can't say it. And our best player was probably Onana because he was making saves. Center backs were doing nothing. Varane, I guess, was decent defensively, box defending. But in terms of clearing in terms of like on the ball, covering the areas, terrible. Lindelof, God knows what he was doing today. He tore his hamstring trying to run. It's peak, man. Big up the boy Yakub. Hit a like and sub. You know, I was doing a Spurs hate watch today in the morning. There was no point of that. And their hate watch was successful. Mine wasn't. That's what Ten Hag has been doing. I used to hate watch Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal back when they were good. Now I hate watch Spurs, man. That's the life I'm at right now. That's the life I'm at. That's life under Ten Hag, man. We didn't lose. You know what? This feels worse than a loss. Yeah, it doesn't even feel like a draw. It doesn't feel like a loss. It feels worse. It feels like I got gaslighted by it. You know the worst feeling is when you get gaslighted. That's what happened with me before this game. I got gaslighted into thinking maybe United are good, but you know what? Ahmad didn't play today. You know what? Ahmad gave me a lot of that gaslight. He didn't even play today. So yeah, man, I need to stop. This should have been a give it up, bro. Grace, my bro, 80 touches from Brentford and United's box against 20 from Man United. They had 80 touches in the box. That's just that might be a record. That might be a record. 80 touches in our box, bro. That's wow. I don't know what the record is, but I am 100% sure that is double of what the most Brentford have had since they came up to the Premier League 3 years ago. Wow, that's bad, bro. Tactically, I don't even know what to say tactically. There is no point of even talking about tactically because it's the same issues over and over again, right? Press disjointed. Fullbacks not committing to the press. Our forwards are pressing the goalkeeper instead of marking the center back or fullback. I don't know why you're pressing the goalkeeper when there's a free wide center back out there available for the pass. There's no point. You're leaving a free man into space. Especially when you think about it. You don't do that in a pressing system when you have a guy like Rashford who's not the best in terms of pressing at not a possession, right? You're only hitting, you're more leaning into the negatives of your squad when you do that kind of pressing. Center backs, half the time pushing up, half the time not pushing up. It just makes no sense for me. And we got peppered for about 95. No, how long was the game? 102 minutes? I'd say from about the 15th minute until the end of that game, we got peppered. If you look at the attacking momentum on SofaScore, I believe, it's all on Brentford's side. There is nothing about United. Maybe they'll have a little bit for the goal, right, for Mason Mount, which, I feel bad for Mason Mount. That could have been his moment. That's the moment, like Ahmad had his moment a couple weeks ago, right? That could have been Mason Mount's moment. It got robbed from him now. All everyone's going to remember from that game is Brentford equalizing it. That's really all that happened. So, bro, that's crazy. Wow. A couple more people. Crossbar was like, Crossbar was man of the match, man. Let's give the Crossbar 500K wages at this point because it was just abysmal. But yeah, that was just. I mean, obviously top 4/top 5 is gone now. We needed to pretty much win. I think about 95% of our games, and we're looking at the schedule. This was penciled in as a win. Obviously, did not happen. So that's pretty much. You could kiss that goodbye. We could kiss that goodbye now. So it's basically now just about trying to stay in the Europa spot, which is 6th, and don't fall out of it. And all that's really left to play for is the FA Cup now. That's about it, which maybe we could win that. United tend to rise for the big games, I guess. We saw against Liverpool. Obviously, Coventry in the FA Cup. As bad as we are, I don't expect to lose to Coventry. But you know what? Knowing this Man United team, we could lose to Coventry, man. I just saw Brentford play like Prime Barcelona against us. So why can't Coventry, right? We need to sign Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's nice, man. The Mike Conference League. No, I'm not slipping into Conference League, bro. I am not slipping into Conference League, bro. So yeah, what else do we have for this game? Yeah, just shit, but honestly, let's talk about some of the players. and really more in depth. Obviously, Bruno. I'll start with Bruno because why not? Just get him out the way, right? We talked about this on Saeed yesterday on the debate show. The need for Bruno Fernandez at this football club has passed. It's reached its expiry date. That first half, because honestly, the second half, I can't even reminisce what happened in the second half, because all I see in my mind is Brentford pumping the ball into the box and getting a shot off. That's all that's in my mind, right? But for United, in terms of Bruno, that first half, I remember more vividly because that's the only parts that we actually look somewhat decent in. Bruno's ball carrying was terrible. The passing decision was terrible. The ball striking was terrible. So that's three of the things that he's meant to be. Well, two of the three things that he's meant to be good at, right? Obviously, he's meant to be a good ball striker, and he's meant to be a good creator and stuff like that. There was one point where he put a ball into the box, which the commentator said was a cross. That was a shot. Let's be real. We all know what Bruno was aiming for. So I just don't understand. Like with Bruno, I understand why certain people rate him, and like I know he's a big tactical favorite, right? Because he works hard out of possession. His stats look fantastic with the chance creation, all that kind of stuff. But for me, in a real effective winning team, when I look at what number 10 / an advanced midfielder should be, I don't think Bruno is that. We talked about yesterday, like his pocket play, right? How he's between the lines and stuff like that. When he receives the ball between the lines, his first instinct, because he's not good at controlling the ball in tight spaces and he's not good enough at turning and releasing the ball into space, right? His first thought is, let me launch the ball to open space and hope that like, a Rashford catches onto it or Garnacho catches onto it, right? That's not what I want my number 10 to do. Even look at the likes of what West Ham do with Paqueta, right? Like the way that he plays between the lines, Phil Foden, all them kind of stuff. Griggs dodge staff. I didn't dodge no one. I didn't dodge hype, man. I look at those number 10s like between the lines. That's what I want. Even Newcastle played better between the lines than us. Like that's what but we should not be this bad between the lines. We need someone that can really properly receive the ball between the lines. That's what I want. Low IQ, zero tech, number 10. Teams below us got better number 10s. Griggs dodged the beehive. Griggs, what am I hiding from? Who am I hiding from? I really want to know. But anyway, yeah, but I think for me, Bruno is not good. But I'm not good. Bruno Fernandez. Oh, who am I hiding from? What am I hiding from? Well, you didn't even tell me to get onto a stream with you other than halftime, which I didn't want to get on halftime. Yo, get off your knees, bro. Get off your knees, bro. Get off your knees. Give it up. Oh, this guy rated me. That's what happened. Never mind. I got it now. Anyway, yeah, get off your knees, bro. Get off your knees. But anyway, back to United. Yeah, I thought Bruno was terrible. Rashford again, terrible. Hojlund, I expected better from Hojlund. I'm not gonna lie. Just the fact that the way that he just received the ball today, the technical play was just not good at all. Just not good at all, bro. I need better from you, but. Yeah, the next further, bro. You come in here and having people tell me I'm ducking from you. I don't duck. But yeah, make sure you smash the like button. I hate that nickname so much. But anyway, yeah, back to the analysis. Yeah. Hojlund, I'm not gonna. You know what the worst thing about what happened with Hojlund today was that we just kept launching the ball into the air for him, and he was just getting bullied by the center backs. That's what he was doing. Like obviously, we're not. He's not a really aerial dominant threat. He's the ball to feet kind of striker, right? So honestly, I think Brentford is a terrible matchup for Hojlund. We saw it in the first match, obviously against him. I think Ethan Pinnock dominated him, and now it's obviously this matchup was terrible. Big Costa, hell no, I ain't bigging that guy up, man. Terrible. You think Tuesday has escaped my mind? Don't worry, it hasn't. Pull up 10 hot cold squares. 1 second. What has this guy said now? No. Who's got the quotes? What account? I don't even know half these accounts, man. United District, post them up. No. United Zone? Maybe. I don't know these codes, bro. If y'all see any quotes, just drop them in the chat and I'll pull them up. I don't even know where the quotes are, but yeah. Before I get to 10, let's finish with the players. Just overall bad performance. Center backs were terrible. Fullbacks, the whole team was terrible. But now let's get on to Ten Hag. Forget all that. Let's get on to Ten Hag now because this is what everyone really cares about. Eric Ten Hag. I have a serious question for you. I really have a serious question for you. Where did you get your coaching badges? Who was the guy that allowed you to get your coaching badges? Who handed you your certificate? Who hired you in the first place? Because I have never seen a system in the football pitch look that bad. I've seen terrible teams, right? Even Sheffield, for example, who are one of the worst teams we've seen in the Premier League. At least when they play football, you somewhat think, okay, I see what their plan is. They just don't have the quality to execute it, right? When I look at United, I see a bunch of individuals that just don't know what they're doing on the pitch because they have no idea. Bro, they have no idea what they're doing. Like, they generally have no idea what they're doing. Like, what are we doing here? What is the purpose? Like I said, the press is terrible on the ball. Everything, bro. It's honestly just kick the ball to Rashford and pray. That's what it was. Yeah, because I saw Saïd was getting mad. That game was peak, man. That game was liquidate Eredivisie League for. I told people, bro, Dutch league, bro. That league is banned, bro. United, there should not be a member from Manchester United in the upstairs, in the board, in the technical staff, in the board of directors, in the scouting, everything. There should not be a single individual from that area of the club that ever flies Amsterdam, that ever flies anywhere near Holland. Never go anywhere near there. Never. Stay away. Put it on a no-fly zone. Never go there. There is no reason for that country to ever be associated with Man United ever again. Thank you for Robert Van Persie. Thank you for Edwin van der Sar. Thank you for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Thank you for Jaap Stam. Let's end it there. We had a good 4 guys from there. Let's put an end to it, man. It's clipped now. We've had a bad run in the past decade. Let's stop associating with that league and that country in general, man. We got to give it up, right? We just got to give it up. So, but I thought just in terms of tactically, we need to do better. We need a new coach. That is, and obviously people said I was supporting. First of all, I've not been supporting Ten Hag all year long, and obviously we were all there on Staffy channel when I said maybe after that Liverpool game, can he show me something in Brentford that I can maybe believe that there could be such kind of consistency, right? Maybe we can start really pulling some consistent performances. Leacher coming back and all that kind of stuff. I said, let me see what Brentford has, right? And then I could really make a real decision, a real thought process when it comes to Ten Hag. Well, Brentford has now happened, and I have now had my thought process. I've cleared it all up. No. Goodbye. End of the season. Buy him out. Let him go to another club. Dortmund are calling his name. Whoever can call his name, bro. Maybe Ajax. Just let go of him. This guy will never work at Man United. You can bring in the best technical director. You can bring in the best director of football. You can bring in the best scouts in world football. This guy does not have a Scooby in terms of what coaching in the Premier League is. I cannot go on a game-to-game basis where I am conceding 30 shots a game, where I'm conceding 80 touches to a team that is in the relegation zone, to a team that has not won since February 10th. That is not what can be happening in the Premier League in Man United. That is not good enough. Whether you believe or not that these players are good enough, these players are better and deserve better coaching than what they're getting right now, because this is not a sixth place. This is not a sixth place squad, in my opinion. You're tripping, bro. That league deserves respect. Don't let that, bro. I'm gonna be real. What is that? Why does that league deserve so much respect from me, bro? Like, why does that league deserve? I saw Cody Gakpo go Liverpool. He's one of the worst players, and this is the guy that Ten Hag wanted too. Bro, no disrespect to the Netherlands, because I've had Dutch people get on my case on Twitter too. The Netherlands are not what they were a decade ago. Arjen Robben, Wesley Sneijder, all them dudes are not walking through the doors no more. You have Javi Simons, that's a hooper. You have Virgil van Dijk, that's one of the best center backs. Cool. Nathan Ake, good player. Mickey van de Ven, good player. That's calm, bro. But your best player these days are defenders. I grew up on the Netherlands where their best players were midfielders and forwards. That's what I grew up on with the Netherlands. And those don't exist no more. Your starting striker is Wout Weghorst and Brian Brobby. That's what you want me to respect. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. Eredivisie, maybe that could be a good league for other clubs, but for me, from a United POV, I'd stay away from them, man. I personally stay away from it. I don't think they have the profiles that suit the Premier League. Yeah, they could suit La Liga. Yeah, they could suit Bundesliga and all them kind of clubs. Because even if you look at it, the best touch talents in world football. Bar Javi Simons, who's okay, he played a year at PSV, but he's not even an Eredivisie product because he's from PSG first, and then obviously that's what happened from Barcelona's academy at first too. What top Dutch talent has joined the Premier League straight from the Eredivisie in the past 5-6 years? Go ahead and tell me a guy in the names. Please go ahead and tell me a guy in the name. That league is not good enough when it comes to adjusting to Premier League level talent. But anyway, back to Ten Hag. In terms of coaching, bro, this is by far one of the worst coach teams in world football, and not just the Premier League in terms of world football because bro, 80 touches, bro. I think we had the most touches allowed in the box last year in a single game. I'm pretty sure it was against Arsenal at Emirates. I think that was 77. So we let more against Brentford, and Arsenal meant to be obviously a top team, right? They obviously finished second place last year, left for most of the league. Year in Timber, yeah, we gotta see how he looks past injury. But okay, so one guy, bro. That's like, bro, Bergkamp and Overmars. Yeah, that's like 20. That's 20 years ago, bro. What are we gonna do with that 20? I can say the same for Ruud van Nistelrooy. We signed him straight from. I think we signed him from PSV. Same could be about the other league, but not everyone can. I don't know that everyone can adapt to the Premier League, but there's certain leagues that they have a higher success rate when it comes to adapting to the Premier League. Eredivisie for me is on the lower end of the spectrum. Like Ligue 1, for example, has a higher hit rate. Portuguese league, when it comes to certain positions, has a higher hit rate. Bundesliga for me has a lower hit rate. Serie A for me has a mixed rate. I think there's some good ones, there's some bad ones. La Liga has mostly negative ones for me. Bro, it's what it is. For me, Championship has the highest success rate. Getting a player from the Championship, they make them move up a little bit to the higher division, and they look just as good. For a lot of players, you can make that case. So for me, it's just about profiles and stuff like that. And the Eredivisie is not a league that my bad. What's it called? Eredivisie is not a league that, for me, adjusts very well to the Premier League. So, yeah, I can speak too fast sometimes. I have a lot of thoughts in my head, so I just spit them out real quick. But, yeah, Erik ten Hag, United, for me, obviously, Liverpool are looking for their coach. We need to give it up when it comes to United are kind of contemplating whether to sack Ten Hag or not. They need to make their decision like as soon as possible. And the time is ticking, right? The clock is ticking. You need to go find your guy as soon as possible. I don't know if it's Julian Nagelsmann. I don't know if it's De Zerbi. I don't know if it's Ruben Amorim. Obviously, Javi Alonso is not joining Liverpool no more, right? So they officially really joined the managerial race because they didn't get the number one target. So they're going to be looking at Amorim, De Zerbi. I think Ornstein said that Simone Inzaghi's on their list, all that kind of stuff. United needs to really go make sure that they have their guy kind of already lined up and that kind of stuff. Oh, my Greek. Yes, I am Greek. Wasn't Lissandro from Ajax as well? Yeah, Lissandro was, to be fair, Lissandro is a hit. But even with Lissandro, right? I don't know if it's a hot take or not. As good as he is, I think he's been a great signing from United. For me, he's kind of like an anomaly. Him and Timber too, right? They're undersized center backs. And even Timber, Arteta's not playing him at the position where he played at Eredivisie, right? Ten Hag, Arteta's playing him at fullback. For me, I think in a optimal United side that is dominating the ball, looks good out of possession, right? Like a United side that can compete against other teams, the top teams and all that kind of stuff. For me, Leach's long-term position for me is at fullback. I think that's where it's going to happen. So even then, I don't think at a center back in the top out of possession side that Leach can ever play center back. I think he can't defend the channels good enough. He's too not that he's slow. He's just undersized. He doesn't have the running power, especially now after a couple ankle injuries to the metatarsal. I don't think it's good for him in that aspect. So I think even Leach, he had to change position and stuff like that. But he's a top technician. Why don't I support Panathinaikos instead of well? First of all, my Greek club is Olympiacos, not Panathinaikos. Those are the ops, and I support both clubs. Obviously, for most Europeans, when you come from like those small nations, right, like Greece, Croatia, stuff like that, you have the home nation, you have the home club of a club that you like from the home country, and then obviously the Premier League is the most exposed league worldwide in terms of on the TV and stuff like that. When I moved to America, Premier League was the only league on. I saw a young Wayne Rooney. I saw a young Cristiano Ronaldo do step overs and stuff like that. I'm like, the team is amazing. Let me support them. And that's what ended up happening. When Arsenal were linked to Lissandro, if we got him, yeah, that's what Arteta. Lissandro was the first option before Arteta went in for, what's his name? Zinchenko. That's who Arteta wanted first. So like it tells you like what a top manager, because I think Arteta's a top manager, really views of where Licha can play in position. Martinez cannot be long-term center back for me. Find him a new position, move him a bit higher up the pitch, midfielder out. I don't think Licha has the running power in the Premier League to play midfield. Personally, I think he'd get cooked there. I think left back, and then you just tuck him in a back three in terms of in possession. I think that's the most optimal use of him. Have you heard about Matthias Almeida? That's my guy. I believe he can be a huge hit for. I've heard the name. I don't know much about him. Is that a coach or a player? Oh, he's a coach. You see that Aiko Panathinaiko coach? Yeah, he's like I coach. Yeah, I've heard good things. I actually want him. I hope that the Greek Federation can convince him to manage Greece. I've heard his name thrown around in the mix abouts, but enough about Greece. I don't want to think about that country right now after it happened on Tuesday. Back to focusing on club football because I don't care about Greece until World Cup qualifiers. Disregard them. But yeah, I have heard of him. Where do United go from here? Obviously, we have a midweek game against Chelsea, and then next week we have Liverpool, and I'm sure Liverpool are gonna want revenge for what happened right at the what's it called, the FA Cup. Honestly, that game, the only Premier League game that matters to me from now on is really just the Liverpool game. I want to beat them guys. I want to ruin their title chances. And after that, the Premier League season just finished sixth, and I don't care after that because this club is finito when it comes to this season. It's just finished. We have no hope. And now it's just about prioritizing the future. When you know not a man game like this is where we missed that pro. Yeah, what I said yesterday, bro. I said Mainu needs his bouncer. He needs the guy to clean up all the messes that happen around him. Look at McTominay trying to clean up a mess today. All he did was keep fouling. Bro, no joke. If you told me McTominay played a full 100 minutes, I would say you're capping because I did not see him on the pitch for about 80% of that game. Where was he? Like, Jane, where was he? That's why I say when people, like, when Cass yesterday said, big up Cass, but when he said Onana's like McTominay, bro, they're the further opposite of each other. One's trying to bag a goal, and the other one's just trying to be a monster. He's just trying to be violent. He's just trying to make sure that his impact is felt on the game. McTominay, you can't feel his impact on the game unless he's on the score sheet. That's not what a midfielder is meant to be. Whether it's meant to be as like a creator, as a dictator in terms of dictating the play and all that kind of stuff, or be a destroyer and just be causing chaos in that midfield. McTominay doesn't do any of that. He doesn't cause chaos. He doesn't what's it called? He doesn't create. He doesn't do anything but get the odd goal there, then and there. So I think Postecoglou will manage Greece at some point in his career. I don't personally think he will manage Greece. I mean, you can already tell he already claims Australia as his whole nation, not Greece. So he left Greece at a very young age. So I don't think age. But that would be nice. Let me not lie. That would be nice. Especially with like a younger generation that seems to be a more technical side than previous Greek sides that are obviously more physical and more defensively oriented. But yeah, bro, it's just United. That was just terrible. I still can't get over the fact that we give up 80 touches in the opposition in our box to Brentford Football Club. Brentford Football Club. They haven't won since February 10th. That's the last time Brentford won a match. Even though they didn't win today, but like it feels like a loss when you really think about it. Like, can you even be happy with the point today? Because when that Tony goal was offside, I'm not gonna lie, this may sound like mad fake and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm a United fan, so I always want to win. But there's a part of me, like the smallest part of me, that was like, kind of like, bro, we deserve it. Like Brentford deserves to be winning. Like I'm not gonna be like sad about conceding, bro. It's been coming, and United just deserve to be United need to hold that and deserve to be holding the L, bro. It's like there's certain performances where you just can't leave with like your head held high. That was just so bad. Someone should have left with the hat trick, bro. You could have left with 4. Certain people, someone could say, no, I didn't say it. Someone said, bro, he might have placed a bet or something that did not score the amount of times he hit the post and stuff like that. You can still support supporting Arsenal, mate. Arsenal or North London with a big Turkish and Greek community. Oh, big on North London, but I'm good off that, man. Once you stick with the club, once I'm associated with the team, I stick by them. Because trust me, I could have left my basketball team a mile a year ago. I'm a Knicks fan, bro. I know what the mud is. I know what it's like to be in the mud and be supporting a trash team. Most of my New York teams are terrible, so I know what it's like. I never thought United would get to that point, right? Where I don't expect United to win, but we've obviously reached that point now, and hopefully it ends soon. But you never know. This is where Ineos is for, and hopefully they get me some new people. But just United, bro, it's just terrible. And obviously, Stone. I don't know what Ineos are gonna do. That's my issue. I feel I need clarification on this managerial situation. We need real clarification on this managerial situation because what is the point? Just tell me if Ten Hag's gonna be here or not. I want to know if he's gonna be here or not because if he's gonna be here, then I need to just change all my expectations of what next season is gonna be because you could even give Ten Hag the perfect summer with the perfect amount of depth, all the right signings. We're bringing all the right people upstairs. But at the end of the day, if the coach can't coach, then there's really no point. You need to have a coach that you believe can execute the vision of the football club. And based on Ratcliffe's comments and the interviews that he be giving, I don't believe that Erik Ten Hag can execute that vision. If they really believe that, then I have to question, or why did you even talk about that vision in the first place? You want to talk about dominating games, control. You talk about watching Man City. I'm not asking Ineos to go find me the next Pep, right? There's no next Pep. I'm not asking us to play like Man City. For me, that's basically impossible because you don't have Pep Guardiola. But I'm just asking us, when we play these lower sides, that we look like the team that's going to come out on top and not like the team that's defending for their lives. Because if you looked at today's match and you had to predict which one's the one that's battling relegation, you're going to point to United. You're not going to point to Brentford. You're going to think Brentford are the one that's in 6th place and fighting for a Champions League spot. You're not going to look at United. And that's my issue with the manager. I need to be on the front foot. It's okay parking the bus against Manchester City. It's okay parking the bus against Liverpool. Those are better sides. It's okay parking the bus against Arsenal. That's okay. Those teams are better than us right now. I understand. You have to obviously adjust in a game-by-game basis. But against the small teams, the likes of Brentford, we've played Burnley, Sheffield away, and Brentford away, and we got bopped off the park each and every single time. Burnley dominated us. They're terrible. Sheffield dominated us. I've seen them hold 8 pieces for fun. Well, and then now Brentford had 80 touches in our box. What is the excuse? It can't be squad. You can't use the injury excuse. I don't care that 2 center backs got injured today. What is your excuse? And that's my issue with Erik Ten Hag. Big up, never foul. I'm gonna assume this is Cass. Agrees I've had enough. I'm gonna flip and explode with the random highlight. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Never Foul. We might be left with scrubs because there's competition for every manager we want. We might be left with God forbid Thomas Tuchel comes to my football club. God forbid Thomas Tuchel comes to my football club. I'd rather bring in C. McLaren if Thomas Tuchel's the answer. Bring in C. McLaren. Bring in Kieran McKenna. Bro, I'd rather go out of left field, try to go for like a little bit of a niche manager signing and go bring Kieran McKenna back to the club, then go hire Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel is responsible for breaking the worst records at Bayern Munich this year. They lost to Borussia Dortmund at the Allianz for the first time in like 3,000 plus days. Since April 2014 was the last time Dortmund beat Bayern in Munich. Guess who was the manager of Dortmund back then? At that time, Jurgen Klopp. Guess who was the manager of Bayern Munich back then? At that time, Pep Guardiola. That's how long it's been. We're going back to the early starts of the Pep Klopp rivalry. That's the last time. So, Garnacho had 24 passing turnover 8 times. That's 32% of the time. Garnacho was terrible today. I'm not gonna put too much stick on the kid. The one thing I'll excuse Garnacho is, and you could tell that he was kind of feeling like physically worn out after the game. He started 27 straight games. That's a lot of games for a 19-year-old. That's not used to playing in terms of that many minutes. Last year, he got used to the impact off the bench role, and it suited him very well. He started 27 straight games. That is not normal for a 19-year-old at the top level of football. That's not okay. And he should not have been starting that many games in a row. Ten Hag should have been more proactive with using his depth. I know it's very limited, but yeah, we just had to give something. I can't comprehend Ten Hag surviving after the season. If Ineos don't sack him, they have to sack. No, because you know what the worst case would be. You keep him, you get him all the pieces in the summer, and then a month into the season he sucks, and then you sack him, and you just wasted a whole summer for nothing. We cannot do what Chelsea did with Thomas Tuchel. We cannot sack him a month or 2 months into the season. That is suicide. That is managerial suicide. That is club suicide. You will be risking a lot because you cannot go sign players for him this summer and then sack him because then you would have to give him a majority of this. You would have to give him at least, for me, until Boxing Day at that point. But the issue is he doesn't deserve that much time. He doesn't deserve to have 4 months of waiting of a grace period after the 2 seasons that he's already had. It's a results-based business, and he would have to get instant results. But would he be able to deliver those instant results? I don't believe so. So that's my issue. You cannot do that within a year, man. I genuinely don't believe you can do that. Gonna be left with the likes of O'Neal and Southgate. But God, I mean, Gary Neville as a number 2 would be calm, like we said, but can't have managing. Definitely can't have Gareth Southgate at this football club. No, Gareth Southgate apparently knows how to profile midfielders better than freaking Ten Hag can. So yeah, I think United needs to make the decision as quick as possible. Apparently, I think Muppeteer said that they already have the decision, but they're just waiting until the end of the year to announce it. I'm hoping that means that Ten Hag is gone, but yeah, bro, signing his player and sacking him early next season will tell me. Yeah, but honestly, that's the worst thing you could do as a football club for me. If you're good enough, you're old enough. I watched Saka play just about. Yeah, and for me, that's not a good thing either. Why do you think Saka has been battling ankle injury for about the past 2 years? Yeah, he plays every game. You think that's a good thing? That's not a good thing, bro. It's not a good thing to be playing these young kids all the time because you're gonna end up like Gavi, who, by the way, if you look at his knee after the ACL surgery, doesn't look good, bro. Look at Pedri. He's suffering the effects of that. Was it 2020 season? You're seeing the effects of that. It's not a good thing to have these kids play that many games in a row because you're capping their career and they're going to be done by like 26, 27 instead of like the 30s. That's the issue. I think a lot of the kids that broke out at 18, bar Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, who are freaks of nature, how many of them have lasted late into the 30s? Look at Cesc Fabregas. He broke it through at Arsenal at like 16, 17. Fabregas was washed by about 28, 29. Wayne Rooney, the best 16-year-old we've ever seen. By 27, the peak was already like kind of dwindling down. Reece James too, bro. Reece James has played a lot of games. The injuries catch up. Yeah, science and everything has evolved in the past couple of years, and there's a lot more medicine, better doctors, and all that kind of stuff. But, bro, some players can't handle it. I understand, but that's in terms of a long-term thinking, that's not a good thing for me, in my opinion. That's just me, though. I really embrace and I advocate for player welfare. I really think that we need to protect footballers, especially when we look at the scheduling that UEFA and FIFA keep pulling out, where it's like more and more games. These guys can't afford to. Mount too, bro, and he's felt it the past couple of years with all these injuries. Injuries catch up to you, bro. It doesn't matter if you're young and your body can handle more attacks. Eventually, it'll get up to you because you're playing at an intensity and a speed that is not normal for a human being, and the amount of minutes that is not normal. Players are not meant to be playing this much football. It's not normal. If Ineos keep this ball guy now, yeah, bro. Obviously, I think this is obviously Ineos have had a lot of tough decisions to make. They've had to get the CEO, they've had to get the director of football, they've had to do a lot of things. But this is obviously the first really important decision. And I don't know if you guys watch baseball or not, but typically like there's like 3 strikes, right? You come off to bat and there's 3 strikes. You have 3 strikes, or you're out. They've had a little small issues, but now this is the first time at bat. This is the first pitch. What are you gonna do with the manager? Are you gonna swing or are you gonna miss? Are you gonna sack him and go with your guy, the guys that you have scouted and that your people think is good enough to execute your first part of your vision for Man United? I'm not asking you to go sign a manager that's gonna win you the Premier League in a couple of years. Should that be the goal? Yes, but I'm gonna be realistic. I think United are about 3-4 years away from properly competing in the Premier League for a title, right? Especially if Pep Guardiola is still here. If Pep Guardiola is still here, United can go get me whoever they want as manager. I realistically think they can win the Premier League over him. But that's just me. Or are you going to strike out, or are you going to miss with your swing, and you're going to keep him and give him the trust that for me he doesn't deserve? But that's up to Ineos, man. I don't know what Ratcliffe wants. Do you think Amorim is a good manager? I think Amorim is a good manager. I saw I think his name is Euro Expert on Twitter. He works for The Athletic. He did a little piece on Amorim with like videos talking about out of possession, in possession, and stuff like that. He's very similar to Ten Hag. The only difference is that when he plays his 3-1-6, it's with 3 center backs, and then 2 wing backs, as opposed to like 2 center backs and a fullback inverting and stuff like that. But he loves the 3-1-6 too. So I think his system, for me, I think Liverpool it could work for. I think Liverpool are that type of club where Amorim can go and it'll work. At United, I personally do not think it'll work at Man United. I think that kind of job. I'm gonna be real. United, as much as it is like as important as tactics are, right? All that kind of stuff. I think at United, you could be the best tactician, but you'll still fail because at United, managing is more than being a great tactician. It's about how you promote your message to your players. It's about the aura and all that kind of stuff. It's an overall package. It's not just about how good you are as a coach. And I understand Ratcliffe said that he wants his coaching staff to just be coaches and let the rest of the stuff be about the other guys like their Omar Baradas and your Dan Ashworth and stuff like that. But for me, that can be the case and all that kind of stuff. But it's not those guys that are doing the interviews before and post matches, right? It's the coach. It's the manager that's doing those press conferences. The managers can be getting hit with all the hard questions, and they got to be able to answer them with the right responses, or it can lead to more media stuff like that. So the job at United is not just about being a coach. It's a much bigger picture. And I don't think personally that Amorim can handle that, in my opinion. I think he'll suffer. At Liverpool, I think obviously Liverpool are a big club too, and there's automatically pressure, but they don't have the same amount as media controversy and stuff like that as United do, in my opinion. They have some stuff, but yeah. I know this is kind of irrelevant, but when Poch was available before you got ETH, did you want him? And secondly, would you still take him? I wanted Ten Hag over Poch. I never really the only time I wanted Pochettino was when Ole was struggling and Poch had just gotten sacked by Spurs, and when Mourinho got sacked, and then we were linked with Poch. Those are the only times I really wanted Poch. Other than that, I never wanted Poch. I thought Ten Hag was a better manager. And I still think he is, but they're two. I think who said it? Jake. They're both not good enough at the end of the day, and that's why one's in 11th and the other one's in 6th with Man United. I can't lie, I need a Nagelsmann. I don't like how he is pragmatic at times, but he's the best option out there. I would be fine with the Zerbi too. Yeah, I think I've finally come to a conclusion. I do think Nagelsmann is my favorite option. I think the fact that he, for me, knows how to profile his players the best, and he knows how to build around his player strength. You look at Germany, right? I know it's international football, but he's clocked who the two best players in the team are, Musiala, Wirtz, and he's like, I'm going to build my whole system around those two in the pockets and let them dictate how far we can go in the Euros, right? They even brought back Toni Kroos to be like the deep line playmaker, be able to feed the passes into the lines and stuff like that. That, for me, that's a manager that knows what to do. When you look at Ten Hag and you look at how he coaches, let's say, for example, I know a lot of people don't agree with this, but let's just say for this, Bruno and Rashford are your best players, right? I don't think they are, but let's just say Rashford and Bruno are your best players. Are you building the team around them? Are you executing into their strengths? Bro, people say that we play through Rashford and Bruno. No, we do not. Because we made Rashford a wide playmaker when he's not a wide playmaker. He's an inside forward that should be taking the most shots on the team. And we got Bruno, who's meant to create a lot of chances and stuff like that, get on the ball a lot, be able to create from different phases, whether it be from deep, whether it be making second striker runs and stuff like that. Ole actually built it. You can make the realistic argument that Ole built his team through Bruno and Rashford, in my opinion. Ten Hag is not building his team through anyone. It's not building it. Now he's going to play between the lines, in the middle of the pitch, small bases. I'm out with that. Yeah. And that's what I want. I personally think the best style of football is when you play. I like when it's good to play through the flanks and stuff like that, but you need to be able to have those number 10s or the advanced midfielders that are intricate in the tight spaces and able to interconnect play. Obviously, again, this is international football, but I love, like, Brazil. When I watch Brazil against England, right? Brazil as a whole squad didn't look good, but there were 3 players: Lucas Paqueta, Rodrigo, and Vinicius. Look at the way that they all link with each other and the way they were connecting the play. They're making the pass and go, space. You make the pass, I run. You make the pass, I run. Look at the way that they were able to find it with each other without even really thinking. It was like interconnected. They were connecting within each other's brain. It was telepathic. That's what I want at United. I want a guy, and Kobe Mane is the closest thing we have to, but he's not a player that's as high up the pitch, right? He's more of a second phase guy. That that knows what he's gonna do before the ball even gets to him. Bruno does what he thinks after the ball comes to him. You do not have enough time like that in football to think. If they're your best players, I don't think they're my best players, right? I don't even know who my best players are. But let's just say, for example, because a lot of people believe that this team is getting played through Bruno and Rashford, and I want to refute that, in my opinion. Nagelsmann English is very good too, almost all native. I mean, he's still very young. Don't forget, A lot of in Europe, a lot of people take a second language. I know a lot of my cousins in Greece had to take a second language, and a lot of them, most of them speak English because it's the most important language in the world. If we're being serious. Not Guzman also spoke well in United, and this guy has been. Yeah, I think it was before we played Leipzig at Old Trafford in Champions League. He talked about like Old Trafford, and he imagines himself managing from the dugout eventually, right? So I think he would choose United if United went in for him, and I really hope they do. Obviously, I know Bayern are trying to speak to him and stuff like that. If Nagelsmann goes back to Bayern, I lose a lot of respect for him. Bro, they dashed you out for Thomas Tuchel the first chance they got. I don't know why you would want to go back there. They disrespected you. Stand up. But I think United should go for him. I think obviously he's young and stuff like that, so that could be an issue, right? He's a very young manager, but bro, he's the youngest manager available. I think he has the highest ceiling. He has the most potential. Let him get him, and you obviously the only question is, I think someone spoke about this with the way Ratcliffe talked about wanting a coach and not really giving managers power. Does Nagelsmann believe he has a stature in football that can demand to be more than just a coach? I don't know. I think, but if you will agree to that, I think Nagelsmann's the best because if you give Nagelsmann the pieces that he needs, I personally think you let him build his team and you get him the players and then you let him build his system through the players that you get him. I generally think tactically wise, he can. I think he can cook. I think he's tactically versatile enough. He sticks to his principles. I know he switches a lot of formations and stuff like that, but I think for me he's the right answer. But we'll see, man. I think De Zerbi is one of the favorites. I think Omar Barada's in love with him, and Dan Ashworth. What's his name? Dan Ashworth. I think wants Potter because they work together at Brighton. So my lighting is kind of off. There we go. Cool. That's cool. Anyway. Did you have any say at Bayern? No one has to say at Bayern. That colors run like a dictatorship. No one has to say, and that's why they're struggling right now. I think Thomas Tuchel may have had to say because he got Eric Dyer, and I don't think Bayern would ever sign Eric Dyer. So, to be fair, let's go with this shit, bro. There you go. Anyone but Southgate? Yeah. Southgate. We can't let Southgate run, man. No. That's not happening anyway. I think it's De Zerbi. I think Graham Potter has an outside shot. I think Amorim is a lot of like scouting and stuff like that. And I think Nagelsmann is just a big name, and I think his agent's gonna offer him. We're gonna be fighting Bayern, Barca, Chelsea for De Zerbi, TBH. Yeah, we are. The only thing I'll say though, first of all, I don't know why Bayern would go after Roberto De Zerbi. Talk about a nightmare in hell. What is that even? Bro, what is a Roberto De Zerbi fit at Bayern Munich with? But anyway, they can do that. Barcelona broke, so when it comes to like contract and stuff like that, we'll have to flow with them. Chelsea ain't attractive. Let's be serious. We're more attractive than Chelsea. So yeah. How many from the current starting 11 when everyone's fit would you keep moving forward? I keep Onana for another year. I think he's progressed as the season's gone on. I keep Dalo. I'd keep Leacher, but maybe not in what's it called? As a center back, maybe like a left back, but I definitely as a squad option. But I think he obviously starter. I'd keep Varane for maybe 1 to 2 more years maximum. That's about it. Left back, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Midfield, Kobe Mainu. I think for me, Kobe Mainu is the only midfielder at this football club that's like in this. That obviously you're starting. Yeah, you said starting 11, right? So yeah, Kobe Mainu I keep. The other midfielders, goodbye. In the attack, I'd keep Garnacho, but as a squad option, not as a starter. I'd keep Hojlund, but get him some competition. And then I'd keep Rashford and just hope that maybe the next manager can. I think maybe one more chance, but if I've said this, if an offer comes in for if an offer comes in for Rashford, it's good enough. Take it. For Nagelsmann, I think it's either Bayern, United. Yeah. I mean, he could have chosen Chelsea last summer, right? And he didn't. So I think United, if United really put in their foot for Nagelsmann, I think we could be favorites. And I kind of hope Javi stays with Barca because I say they're broke and stuff like that, but they'll still be a threat. So if Javi can do a U-turn and change his mind about Barcelona and stay there, which I think he should genuinely, don't let that happen. Search up Nagelsmann screen Hoffenheim. Nagelsmann. 5v3 finishing drill. Oh, there's a Tifo football video out for him. Stuff like that. I'll check that out. All right. Well, I'll take a look at that earlier. Physicality and athleticism is something ETH has ignored for 2 years. And the ironic thing about that, Joseph, is this is the same man that did an interview and told the reporter that Pep Guardiola, one mistake that he's made in the Premier League was he underestimated athleticism and physicality of the league. So if you could point that out as the greatest coach that ever lived, why are you ignoring your own advice? Someone let me know about that. Comment on getting Inzaghi. We're not getting Inzaghi. I don't think he's leaving Inter. And I rate Inzaghi. I think obviously we could get him. But there's something about Nagelsmann. I just seen like the potential of what Nagelsmann can be, bro. This guy was like a coach wonder kid. Like he started coaching in the top 5 league at like 33 years old at Hoffenheim, and that's incredible. And the fact that he took a team that was a relegation battle into Champions League qualification within a year. Bro, I know it's just the Bundesliga and stuff like that, but that's absolutely ridiculous what he's able to do. He installed like a movie screen size on the training pitch to show tactics. Yo, he's a real nerd. Like he's a proper nerd. He's a proper football nerd. Ten Hag's arrogance kills me. He threw all out. Yeah, bro. He threw his principles. But you know the funny thing was, Brentford bopped us out. Brentford bopped us last year 4-0, right? That's the game that made Ten Hag abandon his principles, in my opinion. A year later, we draw with Brentford 1-1. Brentford played better in this game than they did last year. The only difference was that one game had De Gea in net, the other game had Onana in net. That was the biggest difference. And one didn't have Eriksen as a starting 6. Bro, they played better this year. They dominated us. That was we didn't even get dominated by Man City like that. Genuinely, we did not get dominated by Man City like that. We didn't get dominated by Liverpool like that. What do you think about Javi? Some of our fans want him. I don't think he's ready. I think Javi's a good. I have my doubts on Javi. I think he could be a decent coach. I just think he's a little bit too naive still. He's still a young coach. Like I think obviously he took the Barca job too early, in my opinion. I think he should have been coaching at another top league first and then gone to Barcelona. Because like I know he coached in Qatar, I think, but he's kind of learning on the go as he's coaching at Barcelona. So I think that's my issue with it. I think he could eventually become a top coach because this is one of the smartest footballers of all time. Surely, like I know I have my theory on like deep line playmakers turning into coaches. I think they're the best possible coaches because of the way they view the game from the midfield and their IQ, their footballing IQ. But it's one thing to have that IQ as a player, and it's another to have that IQ as a manager and be able to relate it to your players because it's not you executing the vision. It's a separate group of it's a core of players that might not be as talented as you executing that vision, right? So that's the issue. If you were a manager, who would you take? Joao Palhinha, Edson Albert, or Amadou Onana? I would take Amadou Onana. Personally, for me, I think he's better on the ball than Joao Palhinha, first of all, and I think he's just as a freak defensively. I think Edson Albert is nice, but I think the potential of Amadou Onana is scary, man. Where he could end up being with the right coach and stuff like that. Scary, and scary in a good way. Like scary, but not for us, right? As a certain man once said. Do you think Louis van Gaal deserves more time at the club? Yes and no. I understand why United got rid of him. We didn't make Champions League that year. But my issue was it wasn't getting rid of Van Gaal. It's who we hired after Van Gaal. We hired Jose Mourinho, who for me is the exact opposite of Louis van Gaal. We should have gotten, I think, for example, that would have been the perfect time to hire a Poch, for example. You had the young squad going. Let them continue with the manager like Poch, who back then was like one of the best project managers, right? You had a young Martial, you had a young Rashford, you even had a young Memphis Depay. You still had a little bit a group of core veterans that were there to kind of help those guys learn and stuff like that. I think for me, that's when you went and got the proven winner in Jose Mourinho for a squad that was not ready to win. It doesn't work well, right? So that's just me though. We just got to find cheap alternatives to guys like maybe you can't find a good alternative, but sometimes, bro, it's not about alternative. It's just about getting the best possible guy. Oh, I just spawned here. Well, hello. Of course you just spawned here, though. Oh, this absolute fraud. What are you gonna clip me up for, bro? What are you gonna clip up about me and say? There's not that much to say. So, well, anyway, find your clip, bro. I'll see you on Monday. What about Allegri or Joachim Law? No and no. Allegri, bro. I stopped watching Serie A football because of Allegri. Today's worst performance of the season, but I accept another worst performance. I'm an LFC fan, but I don't know if Amorim will be good for us. He's the favorite right now. His Europe record not. I mean, to be fair, with Europe, he made, I think, Europa semifinal, no, Europa quarterfinals last year, and stuff like that. Managerial, bro. I'm just waiting for Ineos to make the decision, right? I need a substantial link, a substantial source to tell me that Ten Hag is not here next year, and then I'll drop the manager video. That's what I did the first time when it came to like Ten Hag. I did I think I did a tier list video. That was back. It was a couple back. It was like 2 years ago, but that feels like 5 years ago when it comes to YouTube. Yusuf Afan, I can hear Yusuf Afan. I think that's a good shout. Amorim would probably shoot the Scousers. Yeah, I think Amorim just shoots United, man. I think Amorim just shoots Liverpool. Like, it would be funny for Liverpool to go for a tactical, like, kind of hype manager. They'd have to start learning new words, man. It's not about passion and desire no more, like they were under Klopp. I learned about the inverted fullback, the little tactical gimmicks, stuff like that. Ineos need to clear this Southgate link sometime. Bro, they're not real. Trust me, bro. They're not real. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking that Southgate thinking so. Don't let them say that, bro. Trust me, it's not happening. We don't got athletes like that. We don't, and that's my biggest issue. We need to get athletes. I know people want to talk. I know people want these technically excellent players that can look good on the ball and do like this little shimmy and the dribbles and stuff like that can do a nice pass. But United, as bad as they are on the ball, off the ball, we might be even worse. We do not have running power in any. We need athletes, bro. We need guys that know how to. First of all, I'm not saying because my comedy is an athlete, right? I'm talking about athletes that actually have a sense of footballing intelligence. That's what I'm talking about. You need guys that are just physical monsters, but are also technically. Bro, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can get both. Both exist. Yeah, maybe their physical attributes and their athletic dominance is a little bit better than their technical ability and stuff like that, but you can get both. For example, Gabriel Magalhaes for Arsenal, he's a physical monster. Is he good technically? I think he's okay. I think he's solid technically. He does the job. But why does he look so good for Arsenal and stuff like that? Because he's physically a monster. And that's what we're talking about. Declan Rice, for example, right? I think Declan Rice is a good player. But when you talk about athletic dominance versus technical dominance, we all know which side is better for Declan Rice, right? One's up here, and the other one's like down here, right? That's what it is for me. We have technical players. This is for Liverpool. I don't know. Konate's a physical monster. Van Dijk's a physical monster. Robertson for his position was a physical monster, but not anymore. He's washed. Darwin Nunez, I think, is physically talented. Endo somewhat. Joe Gomez somewhat. It's a little bit. I mean, I do think. But when we're talking about athletes, it's not just about like physical. I'm not talking about like strength. It's about quickness, like that kind of stuff. Like your back line, for example, they're all athletically dominant. Trent's probably the least athletically dominant. But Tom is stiff, man. He looks like an athlete, but yeah. But Tom's like box crashing, bro. I'll tell you, 442 striker. That's what he should have been, man. He was born in the wrong era. But yeah, we've been going on for about an hour. We've kind of diverted away from the game, but the game really, like, obviously we talked about the game and stuff like that. But there you go, bro. Mount Kaz did something. Maybe Dalo again. Ayer Jensen, we're searching you, bro, and my brother. Yeah, I think obviously, I feel bad for. Like I said, I feel bad for Mason Mount, man. That could have been his moment. But I'm happy for him, guys, for his goal. I hope he kicks on now because we did pay 55 mil at the end of the day. So give me something, my brother. But let's see. Is Jorginho quick? No, but he's technical. Rice is an athlete and much less technical. Yeah, bro, spot on, Christopher. Football is all about relationships and partnerships and teammate dynamics. How you look on a pitch is pretty much as good as your teammates look, right? Because your teammate can make you look better. Declan Rice, for example, Arsenal, he looked good, obviously, before Jorginho got on the ball and stuff like that. But Arsenal's midfield dynamics in general were not that good, right? Odegaard and Rice looked good. But what really unlocked that midfield was getting Kai Havertz out of there and putting in Jorginho, who's a deep line playmaker, and because Arsenal have so many athletic monsters, right, around the pitch that they don't need, that they can afford one kind of slow guy what's it called? They could afford a slower guy in the midfield because of all the guys around him. So, like for example, you're not going to see Jorginho play with Zinchenko, right, on that left hand side because then that causes an issue. You have Kiwior, who's a better athlete than Zinchenko, who's more athletically dominant, who's more defensively dominant. That allows Jorginho to get more space and stuff like that. So it's all about. That's one thing I really rate about Arteta. He knows. I think he has a really good grasp of which teammates complement each other, and that's why you have him. When a certain player plays for Arsenal, another certain player can't play. I think for me, he's really gotten the grasp of that, and I really commend him for that. I think that's his best attribute as a coach, personally for me, though. That's just me. I'm tired of P&P merchants. We need more time. We need both. We need both at the end of the day, but certain positions require a P&P merchant and certain positions require technical players, in my opinion. I think, for example, my number 10 or my advanced midfielder can be a technical genius. It doesn't have to be it could be like Morgan Guzwe, who's less of a technical genius and more of a P&P guy, or it could be an Amad Diallo, who's more of a technical genius than a P&P guy. Florian Wirtz, who's more of a technical genius than a P&P guy. So it's all about positions. My DM, personally, unless you're a Rodri, who's the best 6 technically by a country mile, I would rather go with a physical monster like Amadou Onana. I'm not answering that question, Minerals. I'm not answering that question. I know what question you want me to go for, but I'm not answering that question. Happy Easter, happy Easter to everyone that celebrates Easter. Obviously, tomorrow for me, Easter's in about a month, Orthodox Easter, but happy Easter to all who celebrate. I think it's tomorrow, Catholic Easter, and I think it's just Catholic, but yeah, just Catholic Easter. Yeah, agree. Best teams have defenders who can cover ground while midfield have balance with both. Yeah, bro, just look at the best teams. I think Liverpool, like obviously, even Liverpool, right? Liverpool's midfield. I talked about it yesterday on Saeed's. Is Liverpool's midfield some techie midfield that are like all world class technical players? No, McAllister's techie. Endo ain't techie. He's nice. He's solid. He's a solid technical base, but Zawa's lie. What the hell is bro? Zawa's like he's just out there for fun. So that's what I'm saying. City, bro. Bernardo Silva is the rare occasion where you have P&P, where you have like a physical, and obviously he's not like Aki and stuff like that, but he has engine for days. He has like 3 lungs. And he can run for days like that. And he's strong for his size, who's also technically excellent. You have those guys. But Foden doesn't play midfield sometimes because Pep doesn't rate his physical attributes. It's as simple as that. Because he can get bullied there. Rodri's another case of technically excellence, but also a little bit of athleticism. So, yeah, bro, I think it's just better. What team do you support in Greek? I support Olympiacos. That's my Greek team. Mount holding bench from McTom. Yeah, honestly, bro. Mount's a better goal scorer than McTom. He's a better chance creator than McTom. That whole advanced mid role, Mount was better at. My mom was just like crazy. We say P&P, but we only got pace in this team, and even that's not. Yeah, we say P&P, but honestly, that's actually true. We don't have power. Rashford's not P&P because he has no power. He's afraid of a duel. Hojlund's more pace. He's strong. He's still Hojlund's pretty strong, but reason why Brian also conceded a lot. Got men like Lewis Dunk. Yeah, bro. To be fair, I think for me a high line doesn't need pace. I think it does need some kind of pace, but it's not the most important part of the pace. It's all about awareness around you and stuff like that. But it does play a part though. I understand what you're trying to say. United play money heist football. Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a good term, coining it. You don't have to answer, but do you live in Greece? No, I live in New York. I do not live in Greece. But I was born in Greece, though. I was born in Greece. Why is Eric Dyer benching Kim and Jay? That's what I said, bro. Kim and Jay should be making movies at Man United, man. Are you in Europe? No, we're in Conference League, though, quarterfinals versus, I think, Fenerbahce, no. Now, you need pace to recover in a high line. I understand you do need some sort of pace. I understand, but pace is not the be it and all, not the be end and all in a high line. If you have top level defensive IQ, and you know when to push up and you know when to drop, like you're really aware of your surroundings, you can play in a high line. Personally, even if you're a little bit of a slowish defender, right? Like Thiago Silva in his prime, not the most athletically gifted guy, but he can play in a high line because he's defensively excellent. He has high IQ. So it's not, like I said, it's not the end-all factor in terms of a pace. But it's a good, what's it called? It's a good attribute to rely on. Like Mickey Van de Ven, right? For example, I think he has all the top defensive attributes to play on a high line, regardless of his pace. but his pace is a great get out of jail free card, right? But the system would have to. You would have to have more. You would have. You got. I'll say this though. You can get away with one slow defender in a high line. You can't get away with multiple, but you can definitely get away with one. Who has more pressure, Chelsea or United on Thursday? United. Chelsea are shit. Chelsea aren't good, right? Like the pressure that United. If we can't beat the Chelsea team, then that's bad. That's a bad look on us, personally. I think United are under the most pressure. But I mean, you could say the same for Chelsea though. Like, everyone has used United as like their positive team to play that can go back on a positive note. For example, Brentford, for example, hadn't won since February 10th. Yeah, they didn't win today, but they're gonna be feeling amazing. So, Hummels is signing exactly, bro. Matt Hummels is a top defender. He's one of the most underrated of our generation. In the past 10 years, bro. You can't name me 5 better center backs than Matt Hummels, in my opinion. That's just me though. But he was even good today. I heard in their Klassiker. So yeah, but yeah, man. I just think obviously, but like for example, obviously people are gonna. I fly Greek the next pigeon. That's why I got you, bro. Give De Zerbi the tools. He does better, man. He's kind of overrated, but I've never seen his team look cool as an attack. Defensive structure may be a mess, but with better. Yeah, I agree with that. I do want to see what De Zerbi can do in a better system. That's my only positive. That's why the only reason I would sign him is because I kind of want to see what he would do with a better squad and a because obviously I'll say this one thing about being the Brighton manager that's really hard. You manage with a hand held behind your back because you're losing your best players every year. You have no choice either. You have to sell them, right? That's the whole point of Brighton as a football club. At United, typically you don't sell your best player unless the player really, really wants out. And more than likely, at United, you get to build around your best players and you get to keep them for longer. So, when Coventry outplayers, what will be Ten Hag's excuse? I don't know. The size of the pitch at Wembley, maybe. Maybe it's that, man. Greg's much love, bro. Appreciate it. When did you start seeing the cracks in this United? Were you on the United back train? The cracks, I'm not gonna lie. I think preseason kind of like I started, but honestly, that first game against Wolves, I just saw the space in midfield. I was like, I don't know how you're gonna fix this. I thought maybe Mainu coming back. No, so I think early on in the season. Though, and were you on the United back train? I thought United would finish. I thought United would get top 4 this year before the season started. I didn't think we were good enough to get top 2, in my opinion. I thought 3rd would be the best that we could finish. I didn't expect us to be this bad, but hey, man, I wouldn't say I thought we were back, but I thought finally we had the manager and stuff like that. We can start building some consistency within our performances back-to-back years. Obviously, I was wrong. That happens. People are wrong sometimes, and I was wrong when it comes to Ten Hag. So, yeah, I have to hold that personally, but it is what it is. Well, you think De Zerbi at United LFC fans will be De Zerbi? Yeah, I don't think De Zerbi fits Liverpool either. But this just see like how United are with like how I talked about United with managers. Liverpool, for example, they need a manager that would just like that will adopt. Obviously, I think Klopp has created a mindset at Liverpool. It's like Liverpool fans have grown to learn how to play the Klopp way, right? I think that's what Liverpool have become. Like how United were under Sir Alex. You've grown accustomed to a certain style of football. And this is where United messed up, where even Fergie messed up, thought that David Moyes could continue that. Obviously, he couldn't. I think United, after Fergie, needed a winner. We didn't get that. In terms of Liverpool and Klopp, I think Liverpool fans just need to get a manager that will continue to play similar style to Klopp. Obviously, you could change a couple stuff, but that what's it called? That attacking style of football where it's relentless for 90 minutes, pressing. You don't let the opponent breathe. Right? Just physical monsters, mentality, and stuff like that. I think that's what Liverpool need. I don't think De Zerbi is that, personally. I need some pattern football. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, like I said, I'm not even asking for pattern football. I'm just asking for the basic football. But we don't even do the basics right. But then again, the basics are the hardest thing to do in football. There's no one fit to wear that shirt. Disgusting performance. I agree. The amount of time to see Brighton and Spurs score from cutbacks. Cutback. Bro, today the way I saw Spurs feed the ball at Timo Werner back post, but he just kept fluffing it was amazing, bro. I even tweeted it out. Ten Hag, when am I gonna eat like this? Where's my food at, bro? My bowl's empty. I'm seeing Timo Werner get fed cutback while Marcus Rashford is doing 1v1s at the halfway line. Bro, I'm a Gooner, by the way. I'm hoping for a win tomorrow. I mean, so am I. I'm hoping that you guys win tomorrow. Who is worse, Nacho or Rashford? I think Garnacho's a worse player out of the two, but I don't want to pit them against each other. I think both of them have been provided positives for United this season. Both have provided negatives as well. But when did your United villain arc start in terms of what, like turning on Ten Hag? Probably the Galatasaray game at home. Just somewhere around October, November, somewhere around there. But yeah, man. I hate that. I hate that I have to do this to Ten Hag because I was so high on him. Like I did the articles about him. I did research on him. Like I put my neck. I didn't really put my neck on. I'm not like some big YouTuber or stuff like that. But in terms of that, I wanted him at the club, and I talked about it and stuff like that. Obviously, it didn't work out. I'm not like Hassan. Hassan was trying to go to war against every Liverpool fan. To be fair, I was doing that more last year than this year. But this year, bro, I'm just here to figure out who can be a United long term this year for the future, and that's about it. That's my only takeaways from this year. Like Kobe Minu, I figured out he's a star in the making, right? Amad Diallo, I think he could do stuff. Lissandro Martinez and stuff like that. That's my goal this season. Honestly, I don't care about the rest, bro. For me, I genuinely don't care about the rest. Who you got winning the league? I hope Arsenal win the league, but I wouldn't be surprised if City win it, right? It's Manchester City at the end of the day. Big thing I liked about Arteta is his talent ID can spot athletes and dual monsters. To be fair, Arteta and Ten Hag have actually had similar targets before. Like they both wanted Mason Mount, they both wanted Timber, they both wanted Licha, they both wanted Declan Rice. So a little bit of the same. But Arsenal have been the ones that ended up with the physical targets. We have not. But to be fair, Arteta did walk into a team that had Gabriel already, I believe. Or no, they signed Gabriel in the summer, right? So maybe they didn't have him. Fairs. If Garnacho wasn't Argentinian, would not be rated this high. I can't lie. I wanted him to do well, but brother lacks talent and IQ. I can't ignore that. I'll get back to that, JJ. Ten Hag and MUFC struggling versus Brentford. The performance from Brentford I have seen against Man City and City was also no comment. I plead my Fifth Amendment right to not comment on that. So yeah, but I'm not gonna get too harsh on Garnacho. I have my take on Garnacho, and I'll just keep it like that. I think he's a good player. I think he just has a lot more development to do. I'm not saying alone. I'm just saying. I personally don't think at the end of the day, in a great United team, I don't think he's starter. I don't think he's a starter on the wing. I think he's an impact player, and there's nothing wrong with being an impact player at a top club. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good career. So he just has to get to a point where he really deserves to be playing game in and game out, regardless, not just because we have no wingers. That's my goal for him. So if you think that's too harsh, that's too harsh. If you think that's correct, take it as you want, right? Bobby, that's up to you from Sam. Big fan. Thank you. I appreciate it, my brother. JJ Ten Hag is bro, it's got delusional. But yeah, Ten Hag quotes, man. I ignore them. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Talk about for an hour 13. Oh yeah, United were just terrible. We got whooped. We escaped with the point. But unfortunately, that doesn't end our top 5 chances, like I said. So now it's just about FA Cup and whether we can end the season with a trophy. When it comes to Ten Hag, I tried to give him a little bit benefit of the doubt after the Liverpool game. I'm like, you got that big result. What can you do now? Reverted back to type, and just kept it really shit again. So he kind of showed me what he's about. And yeah, it's just that we've gotten to that point where United, he needs to move on from United for his sake and for our sakes as football fans and as a football club, and just go back and go to Germany or somewhere. Just go to a club that you don't have that kind of expectation, and just go start again. And then one last comment, Kieran says, I feel sorry for Rasmus. What chance has he got to show? Yeah, bro. I think he had one shot. Obviously, it was a sitter. He should have scored that, but I'm not going to get too mad at my striker for getting one chance a game and he didn't bag it, right? That's very hard to do for a young striker. It's not like he's a veteran striker. Like, it's not Harry Kane, for example. He's not like those kind of guys that if they get one chance, you expect them to bang it, right? He's a young striker. Like, Nico Jackson be getting, as much as I love Nico Jackson, I rate him, by the way, but today he got spoon-fed like 5 chances. He didn't score any of them. That's when I would get really mad at Hojlund. So we got to use some context. But, yeah, Rasmus, stop wrestling. It's tough, man. It's tough to be. Like I said, I think the United striker is one of the toughest positions to do. It's right. Even for Ange's system, right? I Spurs is still a tough position to do. But that's another discussion for another day. Appreciate you all. Obviously, I think we started at about 180 viewers. Big up Saeed. Whoever, for all of you that stuck around after, I appreciate you. I hope you liked the video. Like, share, subscribe. I don't know how many subs we're at, but I think we're closing in on 500. So hopefully we're there soon. The road to monetization continues. And yeah, United were just shit, but we move on from there. It is what it is. We go again Thursday against Chelsea away, then Liverpool next week. So it's gonna be a busy week. And then obviously I don't know what other videos we'll do during the week. We'll figure out something. Just finding out. I appreciate you, my boy. Big up JJ, Jake, Kieran, Kayla, Sleepy, Minerals. Who else was in here? Rosu, Christopher, that Don Carlo dude. There's a bunch of you in here. Do some bagels, man. I'll do some bagels, man. I'll probably, since I do a lot of articles, I do have to start doing like the managerial article and just see like kind of how I do. Another thing is I don't want to do the same article different Ten Hag. Because funnily enough, my number 2 target after Ten Hag was Graham Potter, who might end up being a future manager. So funny how the role works out, right? But yeah, man. I'll figure out for some videos during the week, some talking points and stuff like that. It's going to be a weird week because it's midweek prime, right? And then we have Champions League next week and stuff like that. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, so I appreciate all of you that stuck through here. Once again, make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're watching on the replay. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Obviously, tomorrow with a big game. So if there are any Arsenal fans in here, good luck. For City, I hope you lose. No disrespect. Also, because if City lose, maybe I can get away with it on A-listers on Monday from a little bit of a Hamza cooking because I'm sure he's been reading up my cooking for a minute now since I've cooked him for the past month. So I'm sure he's ready for his get back at me. So a City loss would be really, really good because that way it'll keep the focus on him and away from me. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all. Yeah, and obviously mostly we'll see my A-listers on Monday on Sam's channel and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, just turn that notification bell on. Apparently, it alerts you when the video comes out. So whenever I drop a video next, you guys will be aware. That's pretty much it. Peace.